Most gamers have some level of appreciation for the carrot on a stick concept. Some games will dangle the promise of legendary rewards behind loot boxes or dungeon bosses with a 0.001% chance of dropping the items you want and need. Destiny 2, for better or worse, is a bit different. Since starting the game and reaching maximum level, I've been bathing in rare and legendary items, and it feels amazing. But is that good feeling something that can last forever? Most definitely not. I've been playing RPGs, dungeon crawlers, and shooter looters all my life, so I'm no stranger to the hunt for the best and brightest items. The problem that I imagine will arise somewhere around my 100th hour of Destiny 2 is that I'll start to feel satisfied with the way my character progressed, regardless of whether I've experienced the full breadth of the game's content or not. Even worse, I might lose the desire to try new things once I've achieved whatever arbitrary goal I've set for myself. That's a scary thought, and we've all been there, our avatar standing in a social hub while we sit and wonder, is anything worth doing? It's a melodramatic, existential question, but a lack of endgame content and incentive to do the wide variety of content that exists is a problem in Destiny 2, but it's a symptom of a much different disease than you'd expect. Destiny 2's gameplay loop is very simple. You shoot, then you loot, then you shoot more and loot more. You repeat those two things over and over and over again until your eyes are burning and your thumbsticks and clickers are ground into little nubs. Thing is, you can't have one without the other. The shooting is fun, in fact it feels great in this game. The recoil is fun to manipulate and the gun sounds are futuristic but recognizable and dense. And the higher difficulty missions will push those guns to their limits. Then we have the looting. I don't mind getting free stuff from time to time, but in general the best legendary items are earned by traveling through hell and back, after waging war in the Crucible or blasting legions of nameless enemies into oblivion. Mash the shooting with the looting and you've got yourself a good time, but as soon as you reach that infamous 100-hour mark, those existential questions pop up. Around that 100-hour mark, most players develop a decent mastery of Destiny 2. They understand how the game's systems work and how to manipulate them, and that's when boredom sets in. The excitement of running through a nightfall strike is long gone. The shooting becomes a ritualized chore, with every shot optimized instead of natural and exciting. The search for legendary items is unappealing because you've already got a handful on reserve that get the job done. You've essentially beaten the game, but it doesn't tell you that. You're free to bang your head against whatever content is available to you, and I'm sure you will, but eventually boredom will set in, and boredom breeds resentment, and resentment breeds Reddit posts about lacking endgame content. Meanwhile, you've already spent the last 90 hours in the endgame. My point is, Destiny 2 isn't lacking anything besides an in-game clan chat feature. There's plenty of stuff to do, but once you've milked it for everything it's worth like a gold-digging whore, it's disappointing because the game is fun, and you want more. And there we go. In my opinion, the biggest struggle that Destiny 2 faces is that it's a really fun game and you never want to stop playing it. But unfortunately, if you play it for about 100 hours, you're going to reach a point where you're a little bit bored because there's not anything left for you to grind for. And unfortunately, developers will never be able to churn out new content at the same rate players consume it. With that said, there are ways to inflate the duration of the existing content, but Destiny 2 does not take advantage of them, again, for better or for worse. I never played the first game in the series, but I do know something about God-rolled weapons and armor. That's what happens when you have randomized stat and perk allocations. So every time you run a dungeon, you get a piece of gear, you look at it, and you find out it doesn't have the maximum available stats, and it has some questionable perks on it. So you go back in and try to get a better version. That level of randomness can be fun and exciting, but not everyone likes to grind endlessly for a couple of extra points of strength. The middle ground we have with Destiny 2 is that legendary items have fixed stats and perks, but they can be customized with weapon and armor mods so you can still chase after the ultimate build for your character. It just doesn't take as long. Add to that the fact that the term endgame is very vague and everyone has a slightly different interpretation of what the true endgame is, you've got yourself a mixed bag of responses. So overall, Destiny 2 is a lot of fun, but you're gonna get bored if you play it too long. With all of that said, the name of the game, it's Destiny 2. Come on, I've said it about 100 times. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. If you'd like to join my clan, the Blue Crew, the link is in the description, as well as a link to a Discord server you can use. As of right now, the clan has 10 people in it, so you could be the 11th. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, because leaving good comments will raise your karma, and that good karma will transform into good loot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.